Now come to what is lymphatic tissue. So lymphatic tissue is a specialized form of reticular connective tissue that contains large number of lymphocytes. So the lymphatic tissue, it contains lymphocyte. Lymphocytes are a granular white blood cell. I think all of you have idea about white blood cell, red blood cell. So lymphocytes are nothing but they are agranular white blood cells. There are two types of lymphocyte participated in the immune response. You must have heard about B cell and T cell. Nowadays we are talking about immunity, right? So maybe you have heard about this B cell and T cell. You remember one more thing, that this lymphatic system is closely related to your immune system. So we'll learn slowly one by one. Then let's come to the functions. So what it does. First one is the fluid and nutrient transportation. So it is to transport fluid and nutrient. Then lymphocyte development. It is to develop the lymphocyte. These are the cells. Then immune response. Obviously you know it is to develop the immune response. We have also discussed that lymphatic system is closely related with the immunity, with your immune system. Then it reabsorbs excess interstitial fluid, returns to the venous circulation and maintains the blood volume level. Next, what it does? It transports the dietary lipids. So transport dietary lipids and lipid soluble vitamins, for example A, D, E and K, absorbed by the GI duct. These are the components of your lymphatic system. First one is lymph, then lymphatic vessels, then lymph trunk and ducts, lymph nodes, tonsils, thymus gland and bone marrow. So this is a close view of the component of your lymphatic system. Next, let's learn about lymph. So we are talking about lymphatic system, lymphatic capillaries, and lymph nodes. So one by one we'll go into deep. So let's know what is lymph. So these are the fluid present in the lymphatic system. Okay. Then when interstitial fluid passes through the lymph capillaries, it is called as lymph. So we have already discussed that when the interstitial fluid, it is there in the interstitial space, it will be known as interstitial fluid. But when it crosses the lymph capillaries, it will be called as lymph. Then it is transported through lymph vessel and lymph node. For lymph node, it is transported to the duct and trunk, which drain the lymph to the right or left subclavian vein, where it mixes back to the blood. Okay, then it is clear and colorless. Blood is red in color, right? But this lymph, it is clear and it is colorless. There is no color. Then similar to blood plasma, but it has low protein content. Then it contains macrophages, viruses, bacteria and cellular dervis. What is cellular dervis? These are the dead cells. So this is a view of your subclavian vein. Now the flow of lymph. How lymph flows? It flows from the lymphatic capillaries to the lymphatic vessels to the lymph nodes, the lymphatic trunk, then collecting ducts. So the flow of lymph is regulated by movement of the skeletal muscle and through breathing movement. Okay, when the skeletal muscles and the breathing movement happens, the lymph is moving. Okay, so the movement of lymph is regulated by the movement of your skeletal muscles and the breathing movement. This movement compresses the lymphatic vessel and forces the lymph towards the subclavian vein. Okay, so it compresses the lymphatic vessel because the lymph needs to move. So how it is to move? When your skeletal muscle and there is a breathing movement. When a skeletal muscle is to move and your breathing movement is to occur, it compresses the lymphatic vessel and forces the lymph towards the subclavian vein. Okay. And the lymphatic vessel contains one way valve that prevents the backflow of the lymph. So it one way valve. Only one way the lymph can move because it have one way valve. That's why it prevents the black backflow. Okay. Then come to the lymphatic capillaries. So these are the microscopic vessels. These are very tiny, thin wall vessels closed at one end. Main purpose is to drain excess ISF interstitial fluid from around the cell to the venous circulation. Wall made up of the epithelium, large in diameter, anchoring filaments hold endothelial cell to the nearby tissue. This is about your lymphatic capillaries. So what is lymphatic capillary? These are tiny thin wall vessels. These are closed at one end. Only one end will be open and one end will be closed. It main purpose is to drain excess interstitial fluid from and around the cell to the venous circulation. Why they used to return the extra ISF? To maintain the blood volume. Then wall made up of endothelium. So I think you must have learned about the layers, types of cell, layers of cell. Okay, so these lymphatic capillaries are made up of the endothelium. Then these are larger in diameter. Then anchoring filaments hold endothelial cell to the nearby tissue. Okay. Now come to the lymphatic capillaries. So what is lymphatic capillaries? Lacteals. Okay, it is also called as lacteals. A lacteal is a lymphatic capillary present in the mucosa of your small intestine. It is present in the mucosa of the small intestine. We have large intestine, we have small intestine, right? So the lacteal, it is a lymphatic capillary present in the mucosa of your small intestine. It absorbs dietary fats, lipid-soluble vitamins,